How's it going, people? So let's have a little recap from the last video. That was the Associates Exposed 6B. So if you haven't seen that one, it's probably worth watching that before this one. So Tank, we were talking about Tank and his RV days revaluation, where people bought currencies that weren't worth anything, and he made out that it was going to be worth quadrillions, and they're going to be an exchange date, and he was going to provide the 0800 number so you can call and make your exchange. So we covered that, and I'm sure watching that video just proves what sort of person he really is. So before we move on, may I ask that you smash a like, because it does help with the algorithm. Now let's get into it. So this week we're going to be talking about Tank, Paul Yokoyama, and Kim. Now, I'm going to play a video for you in a minute, which will go through Tank and Kim. They took this video down quite after a few months of it being up, and I think it was when we called out Paul Yokoyama as being a disbarred lawyer. Yes, he was a lawyer, as we'll show you in a minute. But Kim brought him on board before Tank and him made this video. Kim used him for a so-called Manna World Holding Trust documentation that she used to send out to companies and countries to try and swindle them out of money. Paul Yokoyama also, he set up a lot of the businesses for Kim that was going on in the background, and one that Thomas Williams didn't know, that he actually provided all of the information for the People's Club Trust, that foundation. He was the one that did the legal side of it, and Thomas thought everything was coming from Kim. Now, do we know all this information? Because we had an insider, and we've come across some quite good information. We were told that Paul Yokoyama was on board as part of Kim's team in the background, and he only come to the front end of it when Tank was struggling. He needed to bring in some money, and Kim said use Paul Yokoyama, and they got a video together, and they started to push out some information saying that if all those people that wanted to get funding from Kim's trust, remember a lot of people was looking at humanitarian trusts, humanitarian projects. The only way that you would get a project off the ground and funded is if you had a trust, and the only way you could get a trust would be to get it through the Camelot website, which is run via Create Change, which is Tank and Paul Yokoyama, and also the Yokoyama legal website that Paul set up. Now, there's some fees in there, which we'll go into in a minute, but this is the kind of thing where people don't understand that where do they make their money? Well, this is where you're going to find out today how they make their money, and a lot of money was made through this. We're talking about 8,000 to 10,000 people at a time were signing up for this because they thought they were going to get project funding. Remember, when Tank come on board, he brought a lot of the people that were in with the RV and all that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a video with Tank and Paul Yokoyama. Now, it's only small clips. Now, remember, this was taken down because this was shut down not long after Thomas Williams found out that, well, I'm led to believe that he found out that there was money being made. A lot of the cult members in the THI were getting really upset about having to have a trust, and he got into a discussion with Kim, and they pulled the plug on it. After making a lot of money, Thomas Williams must have thought, well, I'm not getting a cut of this money. How come they're making hundreds of thousands, probably up into £1 million, dollars, I mean, and he got nothing from it? And this is what we're being told from one of our insiders. Now, I'm going to show you this video now, where they go into the trust and to show you what type of person this Paul Yokoyama is. And he was a lawyer, he was disbarred, and we'll go into a bit more after this video.
Listen up. Hello, everybody. My name is Tank, and I am here with my legal representation, Paul Yokoyama, who has been a lawyer for 35 years, something like that.
Something like that. Yes, sir.
So we're going to get down to some of the basic things that I talked about in yesterday's post. And Paul's going to give us some perspective from a legal standpoint, and he's going to talk about the legal structure that we have set up so that we can safely bring in funding. And we're working to make sure that that's in harmony with the Manna World Holding Trust. So yesterday I mentioned that you have some issues. Now, one of the things that's happening right now is you have the global currency reset is, everyone keeps thinking the global currency reset is going to come. So on Monday, the mercenaries who showed up to take care of Kim Possible up in the safe zone, they showed up and expected to get paid on Monday. Of course, they did not get paid because the Rothschilds no longer had the ability, the authority, the codes, the access, or the intelligence to bring in the money to fund anyone. So again, here we are in a very sticky situation. Now, the U.S. Treasury has informed Kim that the government will need $800 million to maintain their basic operations by this Friday. So that's tomorrow. Now, as of Tuesday, they had not given her a formal request to bring that money in part because Nancy Pelosi informed the government that the Rothschilds said that they are going to bring that $800 million in. Now, when they fail miserably, as they do every single time, what will happen is they will probably want to bring money in from the Manna World Holding Trust. My hope is that the best possible way to do that is for Kim to say she'll, of course, bring that money in because she doesn't want anyone suffering. But in the meantime, we have thousands of projects worldwide that are not getting funded. And I don't think any of that money should be brought in to the mainstream, to the government even, until those projects get funded. All of that money that goes out to all the projects worldwide would immediately jumpstart the economy, and it would put money in the hands of good people. So it's very important that when that happens, which I think we're right on the cusp of that taking place right now, that we bring the money in a way that is safe. We don't want to refuel our enemy, bring in money and then turn right around and spend it with them and give away the products. So Paul's here. He's going to talk about how we're going to do that. So Paul, explain the kind of basic structure, like how you see us bringing this money in safely and what you set up.
Okay. Well, we had long conversations with Kim and also some business specialists who know a lot about taxes and trusts. And we came up with a structure that is using an unincorporated entity, which we call the Guardian of Camelot, which is going to receive the money from the Manna World Holding Trust. And then we have set up a structure of irrevocable trusts underneath the Guardian of Camelot, one of which will be the Create Change Irrevocable Trust. Each of the people that we're calling them project affiliates that will be funded will have to have an irrevocable trust underneath Create Change and the Guardian of Camelot. In this way, I can explain to you a little bit about why we're using irrevocable trust. It's a common law trust. But the reason we're doing it is so that we can maintain control of where the funds are going to be going. You will own the funds if you're a project affiliate, as you're the owner of your, basically the trustee of the irrevocable trust. But the money will leave the Guardian of Camelot, leave the Manna World Holding Trust, and will no longer be owned by them. And that's an important step for Kim. She has to get the money to the people. So that's one of the reasons why we set up the structure like this.
Right.
I did update my website It's at pyokoyama.net, which has some tabs in there regarding this, explaining why we're doing it this way.
And I'll make sure to put that up there. Really, we've dedicated ourselves to getting this done. The point is to rejuvenate humanity, period. And it's very hard to do that and make sure that we're not compromised. So because of that, that's why I don't sell any products, and that's why we don't advertise and things of that nature, because I want people to get the truth, and I don't want to be influenced by any outside sources. So I do my best to give that to you. Now, I haven't talked to Thomas Williams about this yet, but we're going to make, if I understand correctly, we're going to make it available to all the people from Create Change, and also everyone from the People's Club, which is Thomas's group, and make it so that people can affordably set up the legal structure. And I'm going to work, I'm assuming, I'm hoping, this is something Thomas has talked about many times, about setting up a structure that is safe, right? So the structure that is safe here in this case is, this is an unincorporated, tax-exempt association. Now, the association has certain bylaws, right? So in other words, the people that receive the money will operate in accordance with natural law. They will operate in the best interest of humanity, the planet, and the individual human experience. Now, the reason why that's so important is because depending on who you are, if you believe, which is what's happening to us right now, this is what the cabal, mode of operations is they can justify, for example, say they decide, well, we don't like Jewish people. So they decide to drop a nuclear bomb on Israel. They could justify it as being in the best interest of humanity because now they got rid of all of these Jewish people. Now, that's what we want to avoid, is that kind of ignorance. So the reality is every individual human being is a universe unto themselves, and we want to respect that, the beauty of that individual's contribution to the world. And every individual has that ability to contribute in that way. And for the people that want to contribute in that way, on a larger level, what has happened is that the trustee of the Manna World Holding Trust, for the first time in history, this fund of this magnitude is making those funds available to regular people. So traditionally, regular people couldn't have this kind of money. They couldn't go and really bring their dreams to life. And even if they did bring their dreams to life, the order, the cabal, the deep state, they would turn around and they would find a way to take it back, And so that's been the recurring cycle. So the reason why these things are taking so long is because Kim, who we affectionately call Kim Possible, has been setting up the structure. She's been building the cybersecurity. She's been working and negotiating terms with governments all over the world. At this point, every government in the world realizes that all of the funds and all of the assets are held inside of the Manna World Holding Trust. And furthermore, the reason why every time you hear the RV is going to happen, the global currency reset is going to happen, and it doesn't, is because they take some old, outdated code book that worked for the trustees that used to be there. Now, the trustees that used to be part of the Manna World Holding Trust, that was also known as the Dragon Family Trust, the unknown country is what it's registered as in the intelligence systems and the United Nations system, that basically the black servers that map everything. Now, in that system, it was always known as the unknown country. So it's still to this day is registered that way. And Kim just changed the name to the Manna World Holding Trust. But in reality, it's the central bank. It's actually its own central bank in its own country. And it's the central bank that covers all the other central banks. And now that's inclusive of the Federal Reserve. And a lot of people are excited, saying now what Trump is waiting for is, once the government shut down for 30 days, they're going to do a release in force, and he's going to get rid of organizations like the SES. Which, talk about the SES. What is that group?
It's a secret. Well, what's it stand for? I forget what it stands for.
Senior executive
staff. And
change the world.
So
Paul, at my request, knowing that he and his team is going to get flooded with things, and we're very close to funding coming in and kind of breaking through this holding pattern that they had us in. And so at my request, he has made it so for next to nothing. He's going to do us a favor to help people set up the trust. So that's why his site is set up. There's a special deal there that includes, the Truth, Honor, and Integrity team, the People's Club, which is kind of one and the same. But so I'm not sure how they define themselves exactly. But the creators from Create Change and anybody from the Speak Project, pretty much you could come in, and if you just say that you found out because what I did, you can just go to the website and Paul will set it up and he'll make time for you to talk to them about any questions they have, right? And then
you get a half-hour conversation with me so that I can specifically set up your trust for you, and then you can speak to me for another half hour, so a total hour, to talk to me about anything you want to talk about if you have some problems that you need some advice on. So that's part of the deal.
So there you go. Goodness me, like the Cray twins, don't they? God. So let's have a look at what they're trying to push onto people. Bear with me 1 second. So this is Yokoyama.net. As he mentioned in there, that they're setting up trusts for people. Now, this was his website. Of course, it's taken down now. We've got the Wayback Machine to thank them for whoever backed this up. But this is some guy that believes he's some kind of entrepreneur life coach, which I'll show you some documentation on it. But while we're on the subject of the trusts, it's not just the trust that if you've got a project going by their website, you have to register your project through Paul Yokoyama via PayPal. And we're being told they also do bank transfer. $30 to start off with. So what's the $30 for? This is the official Create Change project submittal form. We've had to standardize the project submittal process, and the number of PSF will be received as soon as possible by the staff. It comes with a possible 15-minute discussion, remember that, with a decision making regarding your project. Possible revisions and changes ensures you are officially in the queue to approval as the project affiliate. So basically you have to fill this form in, send off your project, which they're telling you they're going to have a look for it and talk to you a little bit to see if you're going to get the project funding. Not $30 might not sound a lot, but do you remember in that video he said thousands of projects around the world are waiting for Kim's money. So what else do we need? So you mentioned in there the Guardian of Camelot membership, and this is through Create Network, but there's also got a Guardian of Camelot website, which I'll show you. So it's a membership add-on. So for current project affiliates, if you already ordered the official Create Change project submittal form, numbered $30, then use this additional donation, which would normally be $60, they're giving you a discount, to add the full Guardian of Camelot membership, which includes a business irrevocable trust needed for project funding. Remember, he said needed for project funding. Access to the creators network, access to preferred vendors. See gocamelot.com for all membership information. So another $80 here. That's on top of the 30 that you've got. Then you've got the Guardian of Camelot membership full package. So this is the full Guardian Camelot membership, which includes a business irrevocable trust needed to project funding under the GOC, access to creators network, access to preferred vendors. Go to that website. And then they're asking for additional donations Services administrative costs. Use this donation button to apply for legal life coach, health, and financial information. So you're looking at a lot of money here. Now, if you're going to submit a project and get it over the line, you automatically think in your mind, maybe if I buy all of these, I'm probably more likely to get the go ahead because I'm already donating money to help the cause. So, remember this all these figures here as we go along, and you'll see how much money they've been making out of this. So let's go to the Go Camelot that they mentioned. Remember, this is still on the Wayback Machine because they took this down. This is what they're advertising: professional community. So they're offering other services here. Creators Network, a secure project planning and development network made up of a like-minded people who are all have a unique way they want to change the world. Every member accepted into the network has to be interviewed, must complete a background check, and is committed to the core agreements of the Guardian of Camelot. So all of this is what they're offering as part of Kim. Before Kim will give you money, this is all before. Remember, we've not even seen a cent of that. We're now 2023, and this started in 2019. So let's have a look at Paul Yokoyama's services. So he has life coach, legal information, financial health, and online services. Now, a lot of people are going to be thinking, oh, maybe I should start buying some stuff through Paul Yokoyama. Because again, you think the more money you give or sign up for, the more likely you're going to get some money. So through Kim, and these are some of the services he offers. I mean, it's unbelievable amount of money. I mean, he's even saying in here, New York services, they're offering consultation. This is it. Consultation in person with Paul Yokoyama as a life coach, and legal, financial, health information is by appointment only. And he says here, and the fee is free. It is free for the first 20 minutes. Thereafter, a charge of £25 per half an hour. So of course he's going to keep you on the phone for quite some time, isn't he, going through all this? So you can have a read for this. I'll put the links in there. But there's also a 30 bioscan diagnostic, $200, something to another 20, another 25, another 300. And these are people that are supposed to be doing this, to help humanity. It's all about making money. That's exactly what it is. So let's have a little look about Paul Yokoyama and his little. Now, he got into business with this lady here, which I believe is Michelle Heals. I don't know if it's supposed to be Michelle, and then because she's a healer, but he got into business with her. She seemed to be some kind of paralegal. So I don't know how that works. So you've got two lawyers, one lawyer, a paralegal, and they all do well-being at the same time. So yeah, here you go. There he is there, lawyer, entrepreneur, life coach, and you can have a little read through all that. So he passed his state bar in 1985. Remember that date, because that's going to come on to the next bit about him being disbarred. So yeah, you can have a little read through that. You can pause the screen, and there's something in here about please check your Create Change tab if you are interested in applying for preferred vendor regarding use of funds received through Create Change by project affiliates. Affiliates of Create Change will receive funding anywhere from 500,000 to 100 million, and it will be required that only preferred vendors be used in executing and performing their project works. So here you go. It's all about the money. There's absolutely nothing in it or any of these projects. No one's talking about projects or anything. That's going to make you think, oh yeah, I think I'll do that. Oh, by the way, before we move on, I wanted to show you, if I can find it, hopefully I will. Sorry about this. I'm trying to find, no, it's not that. Nope. Okay. A picture of Thomas Williams. Here we go. Yeah, Thomas Williams leaving a comment on that video when it was up live. It says 12 months ago. We took a snapshot of this because we knew it would get taken down. Thomas Williams, look, great stuff. Let's roll. I ask all to exercise patience also as the team works through all this to get everything right. So no bombarding Tank or me of when it's happening, etc. It happens when it does. We would like to spend our time getting it ready for you, then dealing with the or will I get funded? Well, Tank's already said in that video that everyone's going to get funded. So, and it was going to happen soon. Do you remember that's exactly what we'd been hearing all along, is we're going to get funded tomorrow or whatever. So now we just told you about Paul Yokoyama. Now, we got tips off at the time. This was at the time of this video coming out, that Paul Yokoyama was a disbanded. He was disbanded. So we thought, well, how can he be a disbanded lawyer? We couldn't find him anywhere, Paul Yokoyama. Anyway, it turns out Paul Yokoyama, the surname, is his mum's maiden name. And we found out quite a lot. He lives in, is it Illinois? I think now he's 65. We know exactly where he lives today. And when he was a lawyer, he used his father's name, which was Paul Shelton. And this is his LinkedIn profile. So he says in here, Shelton Law Group, February 1987. He went to Knox College, 1976 to 1980. And he's had a few businesses as well. So now when we pointed this out, a lot of people were coming forward saying it's not the same person. They said that this guy is not the same person. This guy here is not him. Now look, you telling me that's not the same person? No? Okay, you want more proof? Let's give you some more proof then. Here's a little video. Paul Shelton Law Group, 11 years ago. Now watch this.
Hi, my name is Paul Shelton, and I am an Illinois licensed attorney. I have been practicing law in the Chicagoland area since 1985. I have over 20 years in defense litigation experience, and for the past 3 years, I have concentrated in foreclosure defense. Please click below to get answers to the most frequently asked questions regarding foreclosure and your loan.
Is that not the same guy? You tell me. You tell me. Right. So I think people with some intelligence we'll put the link in the description. You can watch all of his videos. If you still don't get it, it's him. So how do we find out that he was disbarred? So let's have a look here then. So Illinois State Bar Association. Okay, so here we've got an update. I'm sure there was a date on here. Yeah, I can't remember. 2016. The Supreme Court of Illinois announced filing of lawyer disciplinary orders on January the 21st, 2016. During the January term, court sanctions were imposed because the lawyers engaged in professional misconduct by violating state ethics laws. Now, these are the disbarred people, yeah? Who we got here? Paul Leslie Shelton. Mr. Shelton was licensed in 1985, was disbarred. He improperly entered into a business transaction with a client, fraudulently notarized a document affecting the client's interests, and made a false statement in a legal action concerning the client's interest. In a separate matter, he acted as the real estate broker and an attorney in the same transaction. He received brokerage commissions before he obtained his real estate brokerage license. He also neglected client matters, failed to quarterly communicate with clients, charged of collected unreasonable fees, failed to deposit client money into client funds accounts, and failed to withdraw from client matters after he was disbarred. Now, you're probably thinking, oh yeah, well, what did he do? So we're looking at here. This is one of the Supreme Court rulings that he got into trouble with. Now, this is to do with a loan, a mortgage. Now, this person here, look, Yokoyama Shelton, was his mum. And the reason why we know it was his mum is because in here it says, on December the 18th, 2013, plaintiff filed a complaint against defendant to foreclose mortgage on a subject property. The client was served on defendant at the residence. The subject's property on the April the 9th, 2014, defendant's son and attorney Paul Shelton entered an appearance on behalf of Shelton's appearance filing, listed on the 3 Grant Square Suite. So he basically said it was his address. He made out it was his address, and they basically disbarred him. They said that he'd offered incorrect information. Of course, basically, it lied on behalf of his mum, which is kind of like what happens. So we'll put the document in there, but there's a lot more involved in this case. I'll try and bring up some more information. But let's have a look at what some people have been saying about him. He's a complaints board. Shelton Law Firm review foreclosed home and is losing it. This was 2013, June 17th. Just have given details to you. The attorney that I thought I had for my foreclosure home turned out to be a secretary, not an attorney, to save my home. Took my money, $1,799. Though Shelton Law had bad communication, never showed up to the court dates, and essentially lost my home on December the 5th, 2012 for auction. Now was told by attorney Paul Shelton that he's going after fraud against Countrywide and Bank America, and he's still going to save my home. I've got eviction notices, so I put all my belongings in storage and don't know when I'll be homeless. I have been getting the runaround and tired of it for 2 years. This has been going on for almost has been going on and almost took my life of this situation. So this person nearly committed suicide because of what he did. Here's what someone else has put. July the 23rd. If you haven't already filed a complaint with the ARDC, you should. Now you know. No, you're not only one who has been scammed by Paul Shelton. There's already a complaint filed against Paul Shelton here. Maybe he'll lose his law license, but being that I heard he recently stated a legal advice company called Freedom Legal. Maybe he's planning to continue scamming people. So he's another one. Paul Leslie Shelton. Now, some people write some good things. Paul is a great attorney. He kept it at home for over 4 years. He had stopped. We'd stopped paying our mortgage because we couldn't afford to pay monthly. And here's what some other people have said. Don't believe anything he says. Was a client for a while. He did not show up in court and my house was sold. I had to continually call his office to speak with paralegals. So yeah, this was his residence where he had his law firm. Happy we found him. Paul is a great attorney. We paid Paul £500 a month to delay our foreclosure. So that is what someone's giving 5 stars, but look all these other ones. Don't believe anything he says. Another one here, look. Took £600 a month from me for over a year. My home was foreclosed on. I found out by the judge that Paul Shelton never showed up in court once. Another one here. Gave him £600 a month for a year. In addition, gave him additional $650 to do a title search. Never had it done. Caught on a scam before I lost my home. Stay away from this guy. Another one here. The lawyer took £700 a month from us for a year and a half and never did one thing. He was to save our house from foreclosure. We were summoned to court. He told us we did not have to go to court. The problem is neither did he. So we were found in default. And this is basically what's been going on. I mean, look, educating Knox, it's the same guy. We won't lie about it. It's become unbelievable. Now let's look at some of these other characters that was in this with him. Lysandra, I mean, this was a screenshot we took off their website at the time, and these are the ones that were getting involved with Create Change, Go Camelot, and it was also involved with Paul Yokoyama's legal. Now he's got a lot of names. Look, Paul Martin Yokoyama. His name's not Martin. It's Leslie. Oh, is it? Or is it? We don't know. But this person here, Chief Operations Officer for Create Change, Sidori. Yeah, we know. Remember you, Sidori? Do you remember? We did it in our. If you look at our last video, one of our videos about Kim trying to say that we were all pedos. She was on the video with Tank, and she was going on about KPMG. That's Sidori. She's CEO, founder of Sidori.com. Yeah, well, she was a makeup artist that's got involved with Create Change. Sidori is a Create Change artist and visionary who is dedicated to nurturing partnerships that promote positive change when development communities worldwide. Oh, well, where are you today, Sidori? You've all gone quiet, haven't you? Along with that, what's her name? Is it Lisa English or something like that? Let's have a look at Paul Yokoyama, ESQ, Chief Legal Compliance Officer, with over 32 years of legal enterprise. Mr. Yokoyama is a man of many talents. Yeah, we know exactly. Man with many talents and names. I won't go about the other one. But did you see where we're going with this? It's absolute unbelievable. Oh, this was a legal document that we come across from a Toy Disciplinary Board. Yeah, look, they even put his name in there. Look, Paul Leslie Shelton. So he got his his bar in 7th of November 1985. That's where his registered business was. And this is where he was disciplined. So a disbarment, and he had a reprimand there. So what did it say in there? Not applicable. Okay, it just tells you about the reprimand. But I'll put some more links in there. Where was the other one? Sorry, bear with me a second. There's another thing I wanted to show you. This is a good. This guy called Gordon Watts. Put the link in there. You can read about this. He was talking in here about Paul Leslie Shelton matter disciplinary commission of what he did. This is the count one, and if I scroll down here, it tells you about all the money he took. I think there's a list of client money here. Look, these are all the clients, and these were the dates. So total fees paid to Paul Yokoyama. All these. Now there was another document I'm going to show you that was shared with us. It was scanned in and shared with us. This one here. Yokoyama Legal Group, Manhattan, Guardians of Camelot Trust, PayPal deposits to TD Bank branch. So this is to do Guardians in the Camelot member. Don't know where this place is, but look at these figures from January 26, 2020, right through to September. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have gone to paid into this TD Bank. And as soon as Thomas found out that this money was being made, he went mad. He went bonkers. In fact, he got to a point where that's how he fell out with Tank, because he knew that someone was making money out of this, and it wasn't him. Paul Thomas Williams didn't get a penny, didn't get a bean, while they was raking it between Thomas Melville and all the top notchers there, all getting their slice of the pie. Why do you think? I mean, you think, oh yeah, again, you're just making it up. Look, that document was sent to us by a source that told us that this guy was a fake. He's acting, well, he was a lawyer, but he's not anymore. And he's giving out information to people and making money on it. Paul Shelton. Paul Yokoyama. Like I said, he's been using his mum's name now, but his dad's name when he went and got, as soon as he got a bad name for himself and disbarred, he changed his name to his mum's name. So you won't be able to track him. We would never found if it wasn't for our source telling us that this is the same guy. And we did some digging and we found a lot more information on him, including the idiot having his own YouTube site talking about foreclosure. So there you go, everyone. It's up to you. You think what you want to think. But I'm telling you now, if you still believe that is not Paul Yokoyama, and that you think he's not a fraud, then there's definitely something wrong with you. That's for sure. Anyway, that's all we got for you this week. But anyway, thanks very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Please share on all your social media platforms. I really want people to get to know that this Kim, Tank, Thomas Williams, Thomas Mel, you name it, they're all scammers. They're all liars, and they'll do whatever they can to make hundreds of thousands, if not millions, out of you. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.